Okay, market's still in the red. Thomas Hayes joins me now. Thomas, big picture. Have we seen the bottom yet?
I think we're there or close. There's a saying, Stu, out of crisis comes opportunity. If you look at Trump 1.0 trade war in 2018, the market fell 20% into December. 4 months later, it was at new highs. If you think this is going to take a little longer, we look at the European debt crisis in 2011. Market fell 20%. 8 months later, the market was at new highs. But I think you're there. Maybe you go back and retest. I heard my buddy Kenny Polcari earlier on the show. That's certainly a possibility. But this is the time when you want to be buying high quality businesses for the long term and keep your head, keep your cool.
Easier said than done. You've got two stocks that you particularly like. Let's start with Boeing. Why do you like them?
Well, in the context on focusing on what you can control and buying good assets when they're marked down, you've got one of the best businesses in the world, a duopoly with a $500 billion backlog. With the new CEO, Kelly Ortberg is turning the ship around just like he did at Rockwell Collins. 10-year backlog. This is a great business, duopoly, and not going to be as impacted by tariffs, simply because if you want a plane, you can go to them or you can go to Airbus, and that's about it.
How about Disney? That's been badly beaten down. It's in a dip. You buying the dip?
There's no question about it. If you can own Boeing under 160 for the long term, if you can own Disney under 90 for the long term, the parks are, decades and decades of a moat. The experiences, the cruise ships, high return on invested capital, and their streaming has shown resiliency, growth, and stability. So we like this business for the long term, and we love it under 80.
Well, it's at 85. No, you mean you love it under 90?
Under 90, under 80. Look, Stu, if you look back in 2 years, whether you bought it at $100, whether you bought it at $90, whether you bought it at $85, you're going to look back and pat yourself on the back. This is going to be a lot higher.
Well, that would be nice. Okay, Tom, thanks for joining us. The bell is ringing. That means the trading begins in about 10 seconds.